welcome to Wednesday webinar. I'm Katie, I'm from olalschools.com. We have Kerry from OptimumSA. Kerry, would you like to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yes, like you said, I'm Kerry. Kerry Duplessis, to be more specific. I work for a curriculum provider named OptimumSA Curriculum. We provide curriculum content to learners for grade 1 to 9, both English and Afrikaans home language. And yes, we basically provide the content that the learners need to complete. So, and then me, of course, I'm the customer care person, I suppose, and the information hub, because I've been in this line of work for many, many moons, so they say. So I've got about 12 years experience, 13 years experience behind me, so I can almost literally answer every single question that lovely Katie likes to throw at me. So with regards to home education, all the way from grade 1 to grade 12. But we specifically only go up to grade 9. So yes, so what do you have for me today, Katie?
So, Kerry, we have for today the discussion on completing CAPS assessments and preparing for assignments and etc. So I'm going to share screen and then we can take it from there because there's quite a few. Screen. Sorry.
No, don't worry. I had my boo-boo week last week, so it's okay.
I think it's more the glasses issue that I'm busy fighting with at the moment.
Yes.
I forgot them behind, naughty. Okay, share screen. Main screen, share. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so today we are going to be discussing preparing for assessments. So yes. What is there to prepare for?
Well, basically, our learners have to complete a certain number of tasks for every single subject for each particular grade. They do vary a little bit for grade 1, 2, and 3, but the Department of Education has made it very standard, starting from all the way from as little as grade 4. So, for example, grade 4 to 9 has to do 4 assessments for term 1 for their home language. So that what the assessments are is there's different types of tasks, if you want to call them tasks. So very first one would be an oral. Now, an oral can range anything from a prepared speech, unprepared speech, prepared reading, unprepared reading, a discussion, a debate. It can be anything that is done verbally, even a listening comprehension where the learner has to listen to the mum or the tutor read out a text, an article, some information. The learner must then listen to it and then they must answer the questions. So that falls under as an oral, okay? Because also a lot of the times they have the learners discussing what it is. So it's anything that's done verbally, which is regarded as an oral. Then you've got your written tasks for English or Afrikaans, where they have to do 2 written ones. Now, usually it's an essay or a long transactional text and then a short transactional text. So a short one would be, for example, a writer advert, and a longer one would be, I don't know, write 3 paragraphs about your favorite pet. So that would be a written task. And then the last assessment for term 1 would be a test or a actual comprehension in a language structure written item. So that is the 4 assessments for home language for term 1. So all the assessments are all the items that a learner must hand in for marks. So in term 2, all our learners are going into term 2 exams. Those are a form of assessment. It's assessing on how much the learner actually knows, what they've learned throughout the term, and then they get questioned on it. So all the other little exercises and activities and I don't know, whatever other little written tasks that's in the actual learner book, that is just to get the work into the learner's brain, to apply what they've just learned. So like we spoke about last week, if they're going to go learn about the volcano, they have to scan through the item, they read the information about the volcano, and then they'll do the exercises about the volcano, which is usually questions like we did last week with malaria. And then they most likely at the end of the term or in the middle of the term would, if it was for geography, make a project, do a project or a research project, or go and make an actual volcano as part of applying what they learned on that particular topic. So if it was social sciences geography and they have to go and do a research project or making the volcano, that would be the assessment for that subject. You see, does it make sense? So throughout the term, yes, the learner is busy with all sorts of little exercises and activities, but there's one particular item that must be handed in because that is what is for marks. So all the tasks throughout the whole year make up the year's marks for the learner for the report. You see, so we don't particularly need every single exercise for mathematics for term 2. We don't need all the exercises because it's literally the learner just practicing the formulas that they've just covered. But in term 2, the assessments would be an investigation project and then the term 2 exam. So that's the only 2 things that is for marks for term 2 for maths, for example. You see, so that is the assessment. So all these things that you've got listed on this page over here, orals, written task projects, tests, exams, unprepared readings, prepared readings, that is all regarded as assessments. So they would be the items to hand in for marks.
Okay, and just can we explain to our viewers what is the next best way to prepare for the upcoming tasks and assessments?
The best way to prepare for it is definitely cover the work thoroughly. Okay, if you go and you have to write an essay, and instead of reading about the correct steps to do an essay and you just jump straight into writing the essay, you're going to be penalized in marks. All right, so if you can't just go and you have to do an investigation on why it is important to pick up litter. You can't just jump straight into it without reading the instructions and without reading the general information about litter. You can't just jump straight into the project because you're going to throw away easy marks, such as planning, such as the correct format, such as, you know, if they say you need to put the bibliography in, you need to put it in because it's probably out of 2 to 5 marks. So if you just jump straight to it, there's no ways you're going to do it and get, because a lot of it is very, very easy marks. We're practically giving you the stuff away, you know. So, you know, as you've got on your screen here, give yourself enough time to study and read over past work. I take it that's with regards to exams, hey?
Exams and tests?
Yes.
Because our babies write tests, our bigger kids write exams. We don't want to free the babies up by saying exams.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. For grade, there's certain subjects that they're like in term 2, for our grade 4 to 6s, they write a life skills test, whereas our 7 to 9 write a life orientation exam. But their languages are exam. So get used to the words, nothing to be scared of. If the learner has covered the work thoroughly, it does not matter what it's called. All right. So the best way to start off with your tasks is every single project or assignment or oral, our tasks give the requirements on what's required for that particular item. We don't just throw the learners into the dark and say, give me an oral. We provide what the topics need to be. They've covered how to approach an oral if you're going to do a prepared speech. This is the specifications. Select a topic, do the research, make sure you've got an introduction, a body, conclusion. When you do your oral, make sure you have little notes. Don't have a whole paper because it's not a reading exercise. Make sure you do eye contact. Make sure you know, with body posture. So every single assignment, task, assessment provides the relevant instructions of requirements on what they want. All right. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to know this if you didn't read through it first. All right. So it's bringing us back to last week's topic, where skim read it, that you scan reading it so that you sort of know what you're going into, read through it carefully so you make sure you understand, make notes, and then complete the task at hand. You see, so like you've said here, give yourself enough time. So don't think you can do a project in 20 minutes. It's not going to happen. You probably could, but I can guarantee you're not going to get 90% for that task because you didn't put the time and the effort in it. You didn't cover it thoroughly. Organize your study space. So if you know you're going to be making a volcano, make sure that you've gotten everything together, not that you have to go and look in mom's kitchen cupboard for, I don't know, bicarb, whatever. So make sure you've got everything that you need for that task. Use a flow chart, timetable, plan your time. A lot of the time, our assessments say how long it needs to be or how much time you need to spend on it. So make sure that you take that amount of time. And if you go a little bit longer, that's better, it's good. But don't do it in record time. It's not a race on who finishes it first. All right. With regards to the assessments of tests and exams, if you can get your hand on past papers, cheers. Tackle them.
You can. I'm sure you can find past papers on Google.
Yes,
Google's
you can, but also in our learner books, especially OptimumSA's books, they've got an exemplar exam that is in the actual book. Have your child attempt it. Use the revision exercises, because the more you practice, the better you're going to remember stuff. It's the same if you're going to remember a song. You listen to it 20 times, you sing it, and you're like, oh, I'm actually saying this word wrong. It's supposed to be that word, you know. So practice, practice, practice. There's that saying, practice makes perfect. They didn't just decide to put those words together. It's because it's true, you know. You got to soccer practice every day or twice a week. You're practicing your dribbling every single week, and you're going to get better at it. Everything you do, practice makes perfect. All right.
100%, yeah.
And then if you want to, like we spoke about last week, when you go over your work, like you've got to explain the answers to other people and have a discussion. If you've just done a revision exercise and you've written down your answers and mommy has marked it, or dad, or whoever is the teacher at home, discuss your answers tell mom or tell dad or tell whoever why this and this happens, and have a discussion. Make it, you know, moms and dads don't know everything. Pardon?
I was just thinking, like, they can make it engaging, make it into like a family discussion, because this could even help our kids with their written tasks. It can help them with quite a few things with their essays, and they can just mind plot it all together.
Yes, and the thing is, moms and dads, as much as we like to show that we think we know everything, we actually don't. So
You're relearning.
you might be teaching mom and dad or the auntie, uncle, whoever, a new thing or two when you're discussing and telling them why or how photosynthesis happens or how a volcano erupts or whatever topic you're covering. I'm telling you now, they're going to learn a thing or two. So, make it fun. And then your second to last one is discover a learning style. We did last year cover all sorts of different learning styles. But, if you like to learn with mind maps or summaries, you will know this as you go through the term when you're completing your work. You'll see, okay, mind maps I remember better than a summary because a summary is too much words. Okay, I like to read out aloud and walk it up and down the passage and make a big hole in the carpet because you're up and down, doesn't matter. If that's how you learn because you're hearing yourself read it out, then it means you learn, you're an audio learner. So you will learn this, mum and dad, you will also learn this as you go along through the term, which way the content sticks in the learner's brain. So discover a learning style.
And just stay motivated because anything and everything is possible. And just to have a quick wrap up, thank you so much for covering all that information with us. And just a shout out there to our new viewers and our parents that have been following us with the exams, tests, tasks, assignments, all our schools here to support you and your child. We have extra lessons and it's all live interaction. So it is one-on-one. We do have small classes. So let us help you help your child and come and join us on our Wednesday webinars at 2:30 and join our discussion with myself and Kerry. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can leave comments below, questions, queries, anything that pops into your mind, and Kerry and myself will get back to you as soon as possible. And you can join us at our website, www.olalschools.com. So I'd just like to take a moment to thank you. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Kerry, for your time. And we'll see you next week, Wednesday, 2:30.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much for having us, Katie. I hope I didn't ramble too much.
No, it's perfect. You covered everything.
Made sense. I hope everything made sense. I do want to say, please, remember with home education, there's a lot more flexibility. So if, for example, a learner, life happened and they didn't complete their tests and exams as well as they should have, with OptimumSA especially, there's no such thing as failing. All right. So at the end of the day, at the end of the whole year, all the items, all the assessments that we've just covered carries a certain amount of percentage throughout the year. And if we see that a learner fell short in, say, mathematics, all right, they get the option to redo those assessments to improve their marks so that they pass. Okay, it's not like in a school environment where there's no pause and no, what's done is done, it's written in stone, sorry for you, you messed up on your project. There is no such thing. Okay, so yes, we're now almost halfway through term 2.
Give every child an opportunity.
Yes, definitely. So if you see, okay, your child didn't do great in term 1 and now you're halfway through term 2 and you start freaking out, please don't. Okay, because there's always a way and there's always a solution. All right. So especially if you join OptimumSA through Olal Schools, we are there to help guide and assist learners where we can and we are well aware that life happens, and you know, sometimes if chaos at home, a learner's work does dip down. So if there is anything like redoing a project or redoing a term 2 exam, that can be done. All right. So nothing's written in stone. All right. But yes, thank you for having me. I rambled again. I will
No,
see you
it's
guys
perfect.
next
So
week.
let's empower our children together and give them the best education that they deserve. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Kerry. We'll catch up again on Wednesday next week at 2:30.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.
Have a
Thank you,
lovely
Katie.
week.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye
Bye.
for now. Bye.